This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
The Chassam Sofer writes in a tshuva in Even Ezer Siman Kuf, this is quoted by the Oitzer Plois HaTorah, that already 30 years I had a question on a specific Ramah, and the Ramah is a Tzorach and Gadol. It's very hard to understand this Ramah. And says Chassam Sofer, every single year when I learn Mesechta Shavuos with the Talmidim, I would say over this question. And so interesting, the Chassam Sofer used to learn Mesechta Shavuos with his Talmidim every year. When did the Chassam Sofer learn Mesechta Shavuos with his Talmidim? So in the Sefer Minhagei Chassam Sofer, Parak Beis of Chaf Aleph, he brings that between Pesach and Shavuos, Chassam Sofer learned Mesechta Shavuos. And it's brought over there that the Chassam Sofer used to learn every day of Sefira a different daf of Mesechta Shavuos, keneged the days of the Omer, like it says in the Sefer Elef Kasav. Now, it's very interesting. It's brought in the name of the Hafla that one year the Hafla's father said, "Nu Yingalach." He said this to his two sons, Pinchas, who would later become the Hafla, and Shmuel Shmelka, who would later become the Rebbe, Reb Shmelka. He said, "Okay, Shavuos is coming. Which Mesechta should we learn?" And they said, Shavuos. And the father said, Shavuos, hate to break it to you. Mesechta Shavuos has nothing to do with Shavuos. It has to do with oaths. And aside from the fact that Mesechta Shavuos has 49 blot, connected the 49 days of Sefira, they said the following explanation. That when Hashem gave us the Torah, Chazal say, we're mushba ve'oimed me Har Sinai. We took an oath at Har Sinai that would keep the Torah. So they said, Tati, we need to know how strong an oath is. We have to know the force of an oath so that we know what the chiyuv, what the obligation of Talmud Torah is. Interestingly, in the Sefer Elef Kasav, in Ois Kufnan Ches, he brings from the Chassam Sofer that Mesechta Shavuos has 49 blad keneged, the 49 days of the Omer, and then it comes out that the 30 Daf Lamed Dalid is keneged Lag BaOmer, and amazingly on Daf Lamed Dalid in Shavuos, it says that Reb Shimon mechachu ala b'marava. He smiled. He smiled in Eretz Yisrael. In other words, this is a remes to the idea that on the 33rd day of the Omer, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai is his Yoma Dihilula. Interestingly, in the Sefer Elef Kasav, he brings another tradition that there are those who learn Mesechta Soita during Sefira Omer, because Mesechta Soita also has 49 blot. And what's the connection between the Soita and the Omer? Well, they have the same mincha. They have mincha sa'orim. Mincha sa'orim is only kosher for the Soita, and it's only kosher for the Omer. I would humbly add another connection between the Soita and Sefira Omer. We count Sefira Omer toward Kabbalas HaTorah, but we want to make sure that this Kabbalas HaTorah, that it lasts. Because last time Hashem gave us the Torah on Shavuos, 40 days later we served the Egel. And serving the Egel was called what by Chazal? It was called Arayos, Aluva Kala Shezinsa Tachas Chupasa. We became like a Soita. When Moshe Rabbeinu saw that Klal Yisrael was worshipping the Egel, he took the Egel, he ground it up, he gave it to us to drink. What does Rashi say? Neskavein leboidkam kesoita. God was our groom, we were the bride, we were unfaithful, we were a soita. So since the first time God gave us the Torah in Har Sinai, we became a soita, so the perfect and the most appropriate Mesechta to learn during the Yemei HaOmer is soita. This way, this year when we're Mekabel the Torah, we'll be loyal to it, we'll stick to her, we'll be loyal to her, and Be'ezus Hashem will be zoicha to all the brachos of the Torah. So what should you learn during Sefira Omer? You can learn Mesechta Shavuos, you can learn Mesechta Soita. But the Hafla told his father, actually, the two most appropriate Mesechtas to learn are Ksubis and Kedushin. So the Tata said, why Ksubis and Kedushin? Because on Shavuos, when Hashem gave us the Torah, He married us. It was likened to a Kedushin. Torah tziva lanu Moshe Moirasha al tikri Moirasha ela Moirasa. It was a marriage. So we need to know what are the obligations of marriage. So therefore the Hafla suggested that we should learn Kedushin or Ksubais. So here you have your work cut out for you. Shvuas, Soita, Kedushin, Ksubas. The main thing is to utilize the time to learn. My grandfather, Zechariah Baruch would say, Limnois Yameinu Kain Haida. Hashem, please teach us to count our days, to make our days valuable. And if we do so, V'navi Lavav Chachma, then we will bring into our heart wisdom, we will acquire a heart of wisdom. Wishing everyone a wonderful Shabbos.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.